Good morning. We are going to be talking about joy today, which seems a particularly appropriate thing to talk about for me today because it's another beautiful day here in MDI. And it's always a beautiful day here in MDI, right? And I just like last week, I just got back from a hike, and that's what brings me joy. So I want you to think about, as we go through today's lesson, keep in the back of your mind, what is it that brings you joy? It could be something big, or it could just be some little simple thing that sometimes happens throughout the day that makes you feel joyful. And think about that thing and think about, is it something that you are able to have sometime during each day or during each week? It's really important to make time and leave time for those things in your life that bring you joy, even though you get busy with homework and doing this and that. And make sure you leave time for joy in your life, for yourself, and for bringing joy to others. So we're going to talk today about clowning for joy in Haiti. I'm going to read you a section of journal by Sarah Foster. This is something she wrote about 10 years ago. Sarah Foster is a woman who she wanted to make the world a better place while doing something that she loved. And what she really loved was performing and making other people laugh. So she became a clown. She became a professional clown with Clowns Without Borders. And with that organization, she traveled to Haiti and Swaziland and South Africa and all over the world. Clowns Without Borders sends professional clowns to areas of the world with children who have experienced more conflict and injustice than any child should have to endure. Sarah said, "Laughter is a critical way to heal trauma. Kids need to laugh and play. All kids deserve joy. All kids everywhere." And so let's face it, there's a lot of places in the world where it's really hard for kids to experience joy because it's more difficult because they're just in really bad situations. There are places where they're experiencing injustice, and makes it hard to find the little areas of joy. So this is wonderful that Sarah would go around with Clowns Without Borders to create laughter. So here's what she wrote, the story that she wrote in her journal when she went to Haiti. To get to our first show of the day, we are to parade for half an hour up an enormous hill. When we climb out of the car and into the heat of the sun at the bottom of the hill, a group of kids starts to form around us. I look at them, look away, and quickly look back again with wide eyes. They smile. I do it again, and they laugh. I walk with a funny walk around to the back of the car, and the women across the street laugh. They watch me put together my trombone piece by piece. Tim hangs his battered bucket drum around his neck. Suzanne has the bubble-making bear. The rest of our gear goes up ahead of us in the car, and we're off. Today we are going into Mardisant, one of the most dangerous areas in Haiti, rated by the UN as a red zone because of the lack of control their peacekeeping troops have there. As Tim noted, over 100,000 people live in houses made of cement blocks, tarps, and rusty tin stacked up the hill as far as we can see. The high levels of poverty and violence here make it feel more important than ever that we have to do a fantastic show today, mainly because the kids here deserve a bang-up, hands-down, hilarious show. Also because, although we do not feel an immediate danger, making people laugh keeps potential violence at bay. Kids pile around us as we parade up the hill. They pop out of doorways and join the crowd. Some women dance to the music as we go by. When I dance, they laugh. It seems important to look people in the eye and greet them as we go by so that they feel a personal connection beyond just seeing a ragtag troop of weird, silly, sweaty white people parading past. I alternate between playing the trombone, greeting people, dancing, singing, and catching my breath. We are climbing up the hut hill in a tide of kids now. They attach themselves holding onto my elbows and the sides and back of my skirt. I feel like I'm half pulling a pile of kids up a giant hill, half being supported up the hill by them. "Ubuke," says a girl who has attached herself to my right elbow. I just learned this Creole word yesterday. One of the most common graffiti phrases on the walls of Port-au-Prince is "nous bouquet." It means we are exhausted or we are fed up. When the words are spray painted on walls, it means that Haitian people are fed up with the way that things are and with their ineffective government and with the lack of food or water. When this girl says "ou bouquet," she is asking me if I'm tired from the climb. Wege, bouquet, I say, wiping the sweat from my face and pretending to lean on a little boy's head for support. Then I take a deep breath and look around. No, pas bouquet, pas bouquet. I am not tired, I say. No bouquet? Are you all tired? No, they say. No pas bouquet. You're not tired. I say, "Nu pas bouquet." They reply, I keep climbing. I start a new trombone riff to the beat of Tom's bucket drum. More and more kids join as we climb up in the way. Bonjour, I greet them. Bonjour. They reply to the beat of Tim's drum, again in rhythm. Bonjour, I say. Bonjour, they reply. Bonsoir, I say, which is the greeting for an afternoon and evening, and the wrong one to say for the morning. Bonsoir. No, bonjour, I show. Bonsoir, they say. Bonsoir? Bonjour. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Wahoo, wahoo. We consider this absurd call and response chant for a while, then more music, more dancing, all the while climbing. One of the brightest rays of hope that I see in this country, where so much is wrong, is the way that people are so ready to laugh and to play. So often the joy is there, right under the surface. The smallest hint of a game becomes a massive game. 3 clowns and a bucket and bubbles and a trombone become a parade. Women dance in the street. Maybe a lot of people in Haiti are bouquet a lot of the time, but right now we are on our way up a hill to a show, and despite all the odds, we are not bouquet at all. So that is what Sarah Foster wrote in her journal when she visited Haiti. And the thing that I really appreciate about this story is here they are in this place that's filled with tons of poverty, tons of strife, lots of injustice, and it's really different, people facing really difficult times, but all it takes is just this little token of fun, and the joy comes out. It's expressed. As she said, it's there under the surface. Everyone is able to be joyful. Everyone has the capacity to be joyful and to feel joy in their lives, and sometimes it just needs to be brought out. So, whoops, let's see here. So clowns, the clowns in this group focused mostly on performing for children, but adults shared the joy too, right? Sarah was saying that some of the women were dancing in the street. And they also laughed when Sarah danced. They laughed at her. Or did they laugh at her? Or did they laugh with her? Or were they just laughing? Are there different kinds of laughter? Why do you think it was they were laughing? Were they laughing at her? Did she think they looked silly? Do you think that they thought she looked silly and were just sort of laughing because she looked silly? Or maybe just laughing with her? Or maybe laughing because of all the joy that she was bringing to their children and that made them happy? So there's lots of different reasons to laugh, but laughter always, no matter why, it always brings that joy. And sometimes making a fool of yourself, if that brings laughter to other people, then you know what? It doesn't matter that you're making a fool of yourself. Sarah also wrote, although we do not feel an immediate danger, making people laugh keeps potential violence at bay. Why do you think that might be? Laughter keeping violence at bay. Think about sometime you're angry. Do you think you could laugh? Not really. Or think about sometime when you are laughing, when you're actually feeling genuine laughter. How could you be angry when you're laughing? I don't think it's really possible to be laughing and feel anger at the same time. So by making people laugh, it can sort of take the anger down a little bit, and that can help keep violence at bay, as Sarah said. So what I want you to do is I have an on your own activity for this week. And I want you to create a Joy to the World greeting card, or a couple of them if you want. So this can include, think about what things that bring you joy. And think about youth and children around the world and what joyful things that you might have in common with them. And create joy for the, I want you to create joy for the world collage greeting cards. So look through some old magazines or draw some pictures of things that bring you joy. And I also want you to include words from other languages that mean joy. You can look them up online. I can tell you some right now. So in Spanish, joy is alegría. German, oh, I'm probably going to mess up the pronunciation of all of these, but you can look them up and include some of these words in your card. German, it's Freude. Italian, Goya. So look up some other languages and see what other words, how joy translates in other languages, and include some of those words in your card. And then once you've created your card, think about someone who needs some joy in their life and give them your Joy to the World card. So that is it for today. I hope you have a great week, and I hope that it is filled with lots of joy.